Shelter Mortgage, flexibility, professionalism, and service. Let us custom build a mortgage for you.
Hello, Prudential Sales Executives, for our video message of the week. All right, this week's message deals with something that every single one of us has to deal with in one way, shape, or form many times in our lives, and that's fear. Today, I'm going to give you 3 tips of how to better manage your fear. Now, before we can get into tips, we got to understand really what is fear. Well, in its simplest form, fear, starts with a chemical reaction in our brains that basically starts us breathing heavier, tightens our muscles, energizes our muscles, basically changes the physical aspects of our body with a perceived aspect of what's going on in our lives. Could be as simple as a spider crawling on our shoulder. Could be more dramatic, a knife to our throats. Something that I know many of you have dealt with, and you might say that you're fearful of public speaking. So nothing really changes except you walk in front of a group and your body and brain takes over and you start feeling that fear. All right. So to get through this, I want to hit these 3 tips. But the one message I want you to internalize first is that fear is part of our lives. It's supposed to be there. That's not a bad thing. In fact, fear in many ways protects us. All right? We know that fight or flight type feeling, that fear is important. Sometimes we need to know that something's scaring us so we can react. In fact, our body helps us and it reacts immediately without having us think about it. All right, so knowing all those aspects, what are tips that we can deal with this? Step 1, and tip number 1 is we have to embrace and admit, that we have fear. Sometimes we get caught up in our ego and we stop, like, oh, I'm not scared of that or I'm not fearful of that. And we're really missing an opportunity here. Let me be key on this. Fear does not mean weakness. So when you're fearful of something, it does not mean you're weak. It means, you know what? I'm having this physical feelings, these emotions that are kicking in based on a certain stimuli, whatever that stimuli is. And you've got to be able to internalize that, So once you admit it, and you know that it's not a negative or a positive, it's an event, you can deal with it. But if you never admit it, you never start working on it, So step 1 is admitting it, Step 2 is asking yourself a very, very powerful question. What am I afraid of here? Let's talk to yourself about this. What am I afraid of? What's really bothering me? Because I will tell you, most things that stops us from moving forward is all based on fears. Could be fear from success, fear of failure, fear of winning, fear of losing, fear of what people think, fear of what people won't think, fear of what people may say, may not say. The list goes on and on. All right? So you have to ask yourself that question. What am I afraid of? The more specific you can get to that point, the easier it is for you to deal with it. And tip 3 on this, which is the most important aspect about dealing with fears, is you got to be willing to get out of your comfort zone, and deal with it. The only way to truly grow is break through and get out of your comfort zone. And that means sometimes you're going to know that, you know what? That fear button is going to be pushed and I'm okay with it because I'm going to work through it. I get why it's there. And you know what? I'm going to work through it with the help of others, with the help of myself, and a powerful mindset to say, you know what? I get it. And now I'm going to move through. Have a great week, everybody, and work through that fear and get out there and grow. Take care. Bye-bye.